at the sort of normal end. I'm not going to call it the low end because I'm in that boat as well. It's as tax efficient as you can get it. That's where you start. You use all the tax efficiencies and then you step up into different things.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show. It is your girl Sarah right here on Relaks Radio, and I am super excited to be here because we're going to be talking about so much more. So until I make sure that you are informed about all of these things that are happening in the world, make sure to stay tuned to Relaks Radio because that is what we do right here on Relaks Radio. All right, I want to make sure that you're always informed and updated about all of these things that we're talking about. So feel free to actually go ahead and text me or call me on 078-5247-3473. Share your thoughts, share your opinions, because I would love to hear everything that you have to say. All right. And also, before we head into our conversation, I want to very quickly remind you that you can, in fact, be a part of the show. All you need to do is to go follow us on our socials, because you can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that's all you need to do. All right. It's super easy, and that is absolutely all you need to do. So feel free to actually go ahead and do that. All right. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, that's as easy and convenient as it is. Now, something else that you can obviously do is to download our app, because that's available completely for free on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, and that is absolutely for your convenience. All right, so make sure to actually go ahead, download our app, because it's super simple. All you need to do is just head on over to Facebook, or rather to the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, and type in Relaks Radio, and then you will find our app. It's as simple as it is. All right, and now let's actually head into our conversation, because we're going to be talking about how all staff in NHS is going to be trained to detect a specific type of rare diabetes, right? So that is what we're going to be talking about. So if you want to share your thoughts and opinions with us, please feel free to go ahead and do that, because all you need to do is just text me or call me on 078-5247-3473. All right, and now let's actually head into our conversation, because like I said, we're going to be talking about this rare type of diabetes that is actually very hard to spot. But now all staff in the NHS are going to be taught how exactly to spot it, right? Now, people with a rare form of diabetes may actually receive better treatment and discover whether their children are also affected under new plans from NHS England. Okay, now monogenic diabetes is in fact caused by single gene mutation, although the specific gene affected can actually differ. Okay, now the condition actually occurs in two types, which is basically neonatal, which can occur within the first 6 months of life, and maturity onset diabetes of the young that actually develops later, right? And this is often before the age of 25. Now, while about 12,000 people in England actually having monogenic diabetes, and it accounts for 1% to 2% of all diagnoses, the condition can actually be very hard to tell apart from type 1 and type 2 diabetes. All right, which are in fact more common and thought to involve genetic predisposition and other factors. All right, so here in England we have type 1 and type 2 diabetes, and that is in fact much more common in comparison to this monogenic diabetes, right? And now NHS England has actually announced plans to improve diagnosis of monogenic diabetes by ensuring there is training and support for a designated nursing and medical lead in each NHS trust. All right, so basically that is what they're going to do. They want to make sure that all of these people actually have enough they actually have they basically have treatment in ways in which you can actually identify if they have monogenic diabetes, or if they have type 1 or type 2 diabetes, right? Now, up to 280 staff are to be trained on how to spot the condition over the next year. All right. And among the tools that are available to clinicians is an online probability calculator. Okay. So among the tools available to all of these clinicians to actually doubt a diagnosis, they'll also have an online probability calculator. So this is because monogenic diabetes is in fact difficult to diagnose, right? And we will more easily be able to identify those who need to be referred for genetic testing by training teams on monogenic diabetes in each trust, said Professor Partha Kar, who happens to be NHS National Specialty Advisor for Diabetes. All right. Now, make sure to stay tuned because we're going to be heading into a small break. And after that, we will be back to discuss this further. So, obviously, until then, make sure to stay tuned because I have so much more to share with you guys. But until then, make sure to stay tuned.
Are you looking to achieve the most relevant qualification to kickstart your career? Then reward yourself with the best globally recognized professional business qualification, CIMA. Irrespective of the field you aspire to succeed in, a CIMA qualification can add immense value to your resume and professional life. Succeed in your CIMA journey with supportive tuition provided by qualified lecturers and resources. Nanaska is the leading registered CIMA tuition provider in Sri Lanka with over a decade in the industry and hundreds of success stories. With qualified and certified tutors, Nanaska now provides easy access 100% virtual classes so that you could succeed at your exams and in life right from the comfort of your home. At Nanaska, it's not just about a qualification. We help you think out of the box and build a personality. Exciting offers also await students overseas. Enroll now. Call +94 77 499 7338 or visit www.nanaska.com. Commence your CIMA journey at Nanaska and become a globally recognized leader. Nanaska, smile with results.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show. It is your girl Sarah right here on Relaks Radio, and we're talking about how all staff in the NHS are going to be trained over the next year to, essentially spot this rare type of diabetes. All right, so that is what the conversation is about. But I want to quickly, focus your attention on something else while we're having that conversation, and that's obviously how freshers parties that are going to be held next month could potentially lead to, a spiking coronavirus cases. All right, so that is what we're going to be talking about right now. But before we head into that conversation, I want to very quickly remind you that you can in fact go follow us on our socials, because you can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that would be absolutely amazing as well, because that way you can actually make sure you're always informed and updated about all of these things that are happening, right? And also, while you're at it, something else you can do is to call me or text me on 078-52-473-473. Share your thoughts, share your opinions, because I would love to hear everything that you have to say. All right, because the truth is, this conversation is for you. It's to make sure you're informed and you're updated. So if there's anything you want me to talk about, please feel free to actually go ahead and text me what it is you want me to talk about, and I will talk about all of it. All right. And now let's actually head into our conversation right now. Like I said, we're going to be talking right now about how Freshers Week parties could actually potentially lead to coronavirus cases spiking, especially with the rise in infections given in the past few weeks, right? Now, we know that, our country opened up. We have tourists coming in from all over the world, countries that aren't on the red list, but almost all the, other tourists from almost all the other countries are in fact allowed to come to the United Kingdom, right? And along with that, we've actually started school this week as well. So, along with all of that, there has been an increase in the coronavirus cases. All right. However, what scientists are saying right now is that, look, you know what? This will in fact increase much, much more if we allow, if these universities actually hold their Freshers Week parties. All right. So that is essentially what they're saying. And now let's actually head into that conversation, because the government scientific advisors have actually warned universities about hosting Freshers Week next month, right? Which is, obviously tomorrow. And this is because they're saying that could actually lead to very large spikes in coronavirus cases. And universities across the country are in fact planning to hold in-person events for first-year students next month for the first time since 2019. All right. And obviously this is, 2019 was when the pandemic struck. And ever since then, we couldn't, all these universities couldn't really host any of these Freshers Week parties, right? So obviously this is an attempt to go back to normal, to try and make sure we go back to how normal things were. But the truth is, we can't really go back to normal if things aren't normal, right? Which seems to be something a lot of people have forgotten, because a lot of people think, you know what, oh, we have our restrictions eased, that means we can just go about everywhere, completely forgetting the fact that the virus still exists, right? Which basically happens to be, or rather which looks like is what's happening right now. All right, so universities across the country are in fact planning to hold these in-person events for the first time since 2019. And Professor Susan Michi, who happens to be a director, or rather the director of the Center for Behavior Change at University College London, who also happens to be a member of the government's COVID-19 behavioral science team and a part of the independent SAGE group of scientists, said that even if Freshers events were held outdoors, there would still be a high risk associated with them. And let me tell you why, right? Because look, you might go to that Freshers event wanting to actually enjoy yourself. You might take the necessary precautions. You might socially distance and whatnot. But the thing is, we all know that we're going to be drinking, right? That's what Freshers Week parties are for. You're obviously going to be drinking. And when you are, consuming alcohol, when you're under the influence of alcohol, that sort of inhibits your behavior. And what's going to happen is, sure, you're going to go there and be like, look, you know what, I'm going to take a lot of precautions. I'm going to make sure I social distance. But once you are under the influence of alcohol, everything you said you were going to do is what you're not going to be doing, all right? So that is why University's Freshers Week could actually lead to a spike in coronavirus cases. But make sure to stay tuned, because we're going to be heading into a small break now, and after that we will be back to discuss this further. But until then, make sure that you stay tuned.
The valuations that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you. And that's one of the challenges, right? Because you're always valuing what happened yesterday, and what you need is what's going to happen tomorrow. What am I saving or investing for? Why am I doing it? When will I need the money? And how much money do I need? Yeah. So that's quite important, because when you're looking at your net worth, you got to start with saying, well, what do I want my net worth to be?